All right, so I'm sure like me, your feed is full of the Integra Type S. Everywhere I go, Integra Type S. Everyone has a review. Everyone is sitting behind a camera with the screen in the background. They're talking about it. It's because it's the hottest thing. If you're a Honda guy, it's the hottest thing on the market right now. I followed the prototype pictures. It kind of looked like a new version of the DC-5. It was a two-door. It was the car we all thought we were getting. It kind of sucks. They've done that several times. I've seen it happen so many times. Well, when the Integra came out and they had that picture and it said Integra up the side, and it didn't look anything like an Integra. Just that it said Integra down the side didn't make it an Integra. I've owned several Integras and built a handful, including my Integra Type R that was on the cover of Turbo magazine. That, in my opinion, is an Integra. If you followed LHT Performance over the years, my background was originally the CRX. I put B-Series motors in those. We did turbocharging, supercharging. We built the first Honda Insight with the K motor in it because I thought that's the way that car should come. Then when the CRZ came out, same thing. I thought that that should have been a modern day CRX. My thought process was it needed a K-Series motor in there. But unfortunately, the 9,000 RPM big Vtec changeover, lightweight, balanced sports car market is over. And it sucks to admit that because that's been my background and it's something I love. But the market doesn't want that. There's only a handful of people want that old school, what we call the JDM cars. But my mind has changed. And it's not changed because I'm now convinced that this is the new Integra. Probably the last cool car that we're going to see from Honda. It's 6-speed, which everybody in the comments will always say, we want a 6-speed, we want a 6-speed. But in the market, if you look at the percentage of 6-speeds versus automatics, that portion is very small, and the manufacturers know this. They're not going to put a ton of time and effort into building something that you don't buy. Even though you say you'll buy it, when they make it and design these things, if it doesn't sell, they're not going to make it. So I think it's kind of a ballsy move for Honda to make this car when nobody else is interested in this segment. I've got a little bit of a spec list here. I'm going to go over it. Everyone has a review, so I'm not going to tell you everything everybody else has. It's a 320 horsepower engine, 310 foot-pounds of torque. It's essentially the Civic Type R engine. They probably don't even change the tune. They probably just change the horsepower number. The Civic Type R makes more power than they rate it for, so it's essentially the same. They just stuck that engine and said, there you go, that's easy fix. 19-inch wheels, same size wheels and tires, a different wheel for the Type S. Looks a little bit tamed down, but it's a nice look, more of a luxury wheel. The car is 3 inches wider than the regular Integra. The fender flares, to me, really make a big difference to the car. It looks really cool. 19-inch touchscreen. The main screen, from the angle of the driver, looks cool. It still kind of looks like a tablet shoved in the dash, which it seems like everybody's doing that, including Esther's Rogue. It looks the same thing. It looks like this is just put in the dash. There you go. Big screen. The main cluster, rather than being a semi-mechanical, semi-digital, it's a whole digital panel now, so it's completely customizable. Really cool. A lot of good tech in this car. Other feature is it's 3,200 pounds, or 3,219 I think, which is pretty good. The TLX, I believe, is close to 4,000 pounds. It's not a bad power to weight. 320 horsepower, 3,200 pounds. Big brakes, 13.8 in the front, 12 in the back. It's going to be a car you can drive back and forth to work, drive the family, and maybe take it to a track day, take it through the mountains. I think the car will fit a pretty wide range of audience here, and it's the last 6-speed engine car I think you're going to see from Honda and Acura, which is really sad. But the market is changing. People don't want exciting, fun, manual transmission engine cars. They want transportation, which essentially is going to be an electric bus. Because you get in it, you press the destination, it takes you there. There is no emotion, no soul, probably no control. Eventually the cars will have sensors so they don't bump into each other, which essentially is going to be like a monorail, but they're not joined together. So my opinion has changed on the Type S. Am I going to get one? No. Am I trying to convince my wife to get one? Yes. So that's my opinion on it. It wasn't the Integra I was expecting, but I think this is something worth looking at. It might be the last cool car we see from Honda Acura.